Hi, Bug.
Hi, Bug.
Hi, Bugs. This is my girlfriend, Alyssa.
And this is my girlfriend, Lauren. I just want to say that if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe, guys. We're posting 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you want some good, like, happy sapphic time with us, make sure to stick around.
Yes. And of course, it goes without saying, like, comment, ding that bell.
Ding that bell. But today we're going to be talking about our non-negotiables
in relationships and what we think that you should not negotiate on either.
Right before we started filming this video, Alyssa said something very interesting and she wanted to talk about it, and I said, no, you have to wait until the camera's on because I want to talk about this with you.
Okay.
You said, you were like, what even is settling?
Well, okay, so we were talking about how, like, in relationships you shouldn't be settling, and then I was like, does settling even really exist? Because it just seems like maybe you don't actually have feelings for that person. You could really love them, love spending time with them, but if you feel that you're settling, it just seems like maybe you don't like them.
I don't know, because I feel like there are different levels of, like, affection and love, and you could like spending time with someone, but, like, you know in your heart that they're not filling your cup all the way.
If you can, you should try not to do that. I feel like you're hurting yourself and you're hurting that person.
You're saying no settling.
I'm saying no settling, but I also am just kind of like, doesn't that just mean you don't really like them? Like, you can have a level of affection for someone, but I feel like in the times that I've been in relationships with people and I've known that the relationship has ultimately not been perfectly right for me, I felt incredibly uncomfortable and dishonest. And I've had to end it when I started feeling that way.
I don't know though. I don't know.
I feel like settling is such like a vintage thing to do.
But I think people do it still though.
Especially I think they do, but I'm like,
like, think about it.
Let's not do what our mothers did.
Well, what if you're like queer and you live in the middle of nowhere and there's like one other lesbian around? Then like maybe like you're with her because it's her or no one.
Yeah.
I think settling absolutely exists.
Yeah,
it just makes me sad.
I'm just like, oh, like, I just feel like it's also just like, I don't know, it just seems...
I think you can love someone, but there's like a fatal flaw. I think you could like I'm so in love with this person, but they're unmotivated in their own life, or like, oh, I really love this person, but they are the biggest slob ever.
Yeah.
Then you could be like, what do I love more, having a clean house or spending time with this person? You could still be like, I love this person, I'll just have to clean up.
But I feel like that's compromise. That's not settling.
Oh, that's interesting, because I think sometimes compromise can lead to settling. You're like, well,
I think there are certain things within each person that they can't compromise on.
Yeah.
Like for me, like, I don't mind a little mess. That's something I can totally compromise on. That's probably a compromise that Lauren has to make to be with me. But you're also a little messy too.
Yeah, so no, I think it kind of works out.
I just think like there's a difference.
I can't compromise on. I cannot date someone who's not funny.
Of course.
If I don't think they're funny, game over. If they don't think I'm funny, game over. I feel like so much of me talking to people is joking around. So if this person is like not very humorous, I'm like, you could be the hottest person ever, the nicest person ever, rich and cool and have superpowers, but if you're not funny, it's not for me.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't settle for somebody that doesn't make you laugh and you don't make them laugh. I feel like that's true for a lot of people because everybody has different senses of humor. Like, Lauren and I are funny to each other, but we might not be funny to you. I hope we are, because you're watching.
I hope you are. I hope we are.
I hope we are. And I feel like all of us here are very, very funny and having fun and
goofy.
And being goofy.
Yeah, or even if you're not hilarious, like knee slapper, you need to be like goofy.
Yeah, you need to be down to clown. I feel like this is a conversation that Lauren and I have had before, because I'm very like non-sarcastic, and if people say something to me, sometimes I will like take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I feel like throughout our relationship, I've been like taking things less seriously, because obviously like I'm a comedian, but in my regular life, I'm just a girl.
You're a very genuine speaker and listener when you're not on
I try to take people seriously.
Yeah.
Which is also like, it's such a contrast to like the antithesis of who I am.
Yeah, you're so goofy but also so genuine.
Well, yeah, I just never want to, like, if somebody's like, implies that I've like hurt them and they're joking, like I'm like no.
Yeah.
But then like you don't always need to do that.
Yeah, because you'd hate to be like, you sucker, and then they're like, I was serious.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, it's better to sometimes take things seriously first and then be goofy with it, because sometimes like there have been moments where people have been like, I've thought they've been joking and they aren't.
Yeah.
And they just cuckoo.
Ooh.
And so.
And they just cuckoo.
And they just cuckoo.
And they just cuckoo the duck.
So all this to say, everybody has different things that are non-negotiables for them, and we're just talking about ours.
So what's one of yours?
My first one is that, and I think a lot of times when we're young, we forget this, for the majority of your relationship, you should not be stressed out by your relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. I think most of the relationships in my life, I've been like, they could leave me at any moment. And
that was your biggest stressor?
yeah, and not because of anything they did, but because of like problems within myself.
Yeah.
And like stuff that I had to sort of tackle. But I think a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people are afraid of being left, and being left isn't the scariest thing. The scariest thing is being unhappy.
Yeah.
And you're making yourself unhappy by staying in that situation. And I think your partner mostly should be lifting you up.
Yeah.
And supporting you. And you shouldn't feel, your primary concern should not be being left.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like
You should both be choosing to stay for each other.
yeah. And I feel like you've got to be able to make yourself happy on your own.
Yeah.
So if you're really concerned about being alone, maybe be like, why am I so afraid of being alone?
Well, I think it's also like, if you're concerned about somebody leaving you, that's going to affect all of your behavior.
Yeah.
And you're not going to
You don't want to disagree with them.
You're not going to be truthful about your feelings. And that's just hard on you both.
Yeah.
So I think that's a problem that I've had in previous relationships. Like with Lauren, like, yeah, sometimes I'm like stressed in my life, but normally I'm not stressed by our relationship.
Yeah.
We all have our moments,
Yeah.
but
I feel like we have a very
the standard is that we aren't stressed out by each other.
Yeah, it's very nice. I feel like this is definitely my least stressful relationship I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. There's passion, but there's not stress.
Passion, but not stress. That's a good tagline.
Isn't Lauren's bonnet so cute? I'm bragging because I made it.
I love it so much. I love this thing. And it keeps me so warm in our chilly little LA apartment.
Don't ask me for the pattern because I made it up, unfortunately.
One of my non-negotiables is when people are very inconsiderate of you, but also like the people around them. Mm-hmm. Like I really cannot stand rudeness. I can't stand like self-centeredness. Mm-hmm. I think it's because like I try my hardest to be very aware of how I'm affecting people around me, and thus when I see somebody who's like just like blazing through life without like a care about how they are, you know, affecting people around them, I'm like, you need to look in the mirror, honey.
No, I completely agree. I think I know that like right now it's like funny to be mean, but I really don't like that.
I don't like it.
It makes me incredibly uncomfortable actually, because I'm like, you can be funny in so many other ways.
That's why I really struggle with, I feel like a lot of stand-up comedy is very like mean.
Yeah, I'm like, only be mean, like, but make self-deprecating jokes, like
to an extent, and also.
Yeah, to an extent, and also like punch up, don't punch down.
Don't punch down. Yeah, I hate it, and I hate crowd work.
I like crowd work.
I hate it. I say, you didn't come with material. You have to have us supply the material.
Babe, let me tell you that a lot of crowd work is pre-planned.
Yeah, I know it is, but I'm like, I don't need you. I feel like sometimes they're punching down.
Yeah, I don't think make fun of them, but I love when people are like, you're here on a date? How long you been dating? Like, I feel like stuff like that.
No, that's fine, but it's like, oh,
no, don't make that fun.
Oh, something's happening between the two of them.
I think sometimes it's really funny.
I hate stand-up comedy. Never take me to a stand-up
I think
show.
that when a stand-up comic is really good, it's awesome, and when they're not, it's really bad. So It's hard to go to a stand-up show.
I think when it's good, I'm like, okay, and when it's bad, I'm like, I am burning in hell.
Yeah, I agree. I think good crowd work is really good, but most people aren't good at it, so it's hard. Yeah, I really hate when people are inconsiderate. I feel like this goes into another one of mine, which is, I think it's similar because I said you need somebody who matches your energy.
Yeah.
And the other part of that is that I think when you're in a relationship, the both of you or whoever is in the relationship, you should be consistently going out of your way for each other.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of matches with like wanting somebody who's considerate, because you should be considerate of the world, but you should be especially considerate of each other.
Yeah.
Because it's like a best friend. You're like choosing to spend your time, like a lot of your time, with the people that you're dating. So you should be like surprising each other. You should be, I don't know, just like when I'm lying down and I'm like, I really want a glass of water, and Lauren goes and gets me a glass of water, like little things like that.
Yeah, it's like little stuff. Alyssa's always going out of her way to do stuff for me. She's always bringing me little treats and surprising me with little things.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like a money thing, but like making breakfast without being asked, or like doing our laundry, or like little things like that.
It's a collaboration to make each other happy.
Yeah.
Which is really sweet to me, I agree.
Yeah, and I think like sometimes somebody in the relationship might need a little more help, and that's also okay, like from time to time.
Yeah, like definitely there are periods of time where Alyssa's like pulling weight more,
or if I'm like having a really bad day, like Lauren will like pull the weight.
Yeah. But as long as we're
or
like
if it's
working
like a holiday.
Oh, a birthday, perhaps.
Yeah, we just celebrated Lauren's birthday. It was so fun.
And Alyssa Slade.com.
An extravaganza.
Slade.com/best girlfriend ever.
You're my baby.
You're my baby.
And Valentine's Day we spoiled each other too. It's fun that it's all in a row.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we got your birthday.
Yeah. In June. It's far away.
Spring birthday.
Spring birthday. It's a reference to a previous video. I just think that you should be loving each other as much as you can.
Yeah. The next thing that I think, it's not like a complete non-negotiable, but dating Alyssa has really like opened my eyes to this. I feel like it's so nice to date somebody who not only like believes in you and your ability, but also believes in themselves and their ability. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like from the moment I met Alyssa, she's been very much like, I'm going to succeed in what I want to do, and so are you. Like there's never really been like a backup plan that kind of takes over. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like you've always been like, I want to perform, and so you perform. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you want to, you know, do internet stuff, so you're doing internet stuff, and I believe in you, and you're going to make it, and we're going to make it together. Like I just feel like you have this unyielding confidence in the both of us that I feel like is not very common in a lot of relationships. So maybe this isn't like a negotiable, non-negotiable, but like, God, what a bonus.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really like, I think that something that I think about a lot is that most people in the world are not going to believe in you. So you really have to believe in yourself. Yeah. And I think I was very lucky that like my mom instilled that in me, because growing up I was like, I can do anything. Like, and I probably can't do anything, but I have the belief that I can do anything. And I think like, yeah, like stuff happens along the way, and we make sacrifices and we make compromises, but you should still have your long-term and short-term goals in mind as you do that. And you shouldn't be like, I guess this is my life now. You could be like, this is what I'm doing right now, and this is what I will be doing at some point moving forward. Like, yeah. I know that stuff comes up, and you gotta make money, and you gotta like be a person, but you also have to be confident in yourself, because nobody else is gonna be confident in you.
Yeah.
So
like
you gotta
really have to be,
you gotta take that.
Your number one cheerleader should be yourself, but then your second cheerleader should probably be your partner.
Yeah, or your family. The people you surround yourself with should be cheerleading you.
Yeah, I feel like you've really changed my perspective on a lot of things with that. Like I feel like before I was dating you, I was like, well, I have to have a backup plan, but now, God, full sending it into this internet business.
Backup plans fail.
Yeah. So sometimes a backup plan is also not achievable.
Yeah. So like, I think we just gotta do our best and believe in ourselves over everything else.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you. I believe in you.
I believe in you.
I feel it. And I'm so glad you believe in yourself. I think that that's so important. You have to support yourself first, even in a relationship. Because you have to be able to show up for yourself and for your person. And if you aren't inspired by yourself, then how are you gonna show up?
Yeah, period. You're a wonderful girl.
You are too, girl. What do I have next? I feel like this is for like straight people.
Okay, you can give a man-woman relationship.
But I don't know. I think this is just like, maybe because we hear like straight relationships talked about so much, but it seems like when I'm like seeing people make negative videos about this, it seems like it's like a lady crying about her boyfriend, which is very sad, and I empathize. But I think it's really important that you want to spend time with your partner.
Yeah.
It should never be a chore.
And also that your partner wants to spend time with you.
Yes. Both ways. I just think like a lot of people are dating and they're not friends. And that's strange to me. But I've also like been there, not fully been there, but like been there more so that I am there now, because I feel like we are friends and lovers. Friends and lovers. And we really have like both aspects.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's both, because it kind of just like blends together.
You're my friend lover.
Yes.
My lover who is also my friend.
Yes. But I just think
like if you're dreading spending time with someone, maybe like assess why you're with them.
Yeah. And you should not be putting up with that energy if that's the energy that's coming towards you.
If they're not actively excited to see you and spend time with you, girl, bye.
I feel like that's what's, I feel lucky to have not really been in like situationships in my life.
Same.
Because I feel like that's like the big hard thing about situationships, is that like maybe one party is not quite wanting to spend that much time with the other party.
Yeah, I don't quite get situationships. Is that not just like friends with benefits? Is that just not the new word for that?
I think situationships is like you could eventually date, maybe.
And friends with benefits is like no.
I feel like friends with benefits is like you were just friends.
I feel like that's a lot of situationships. I feel like I hear girls talk about situationships and I'm like, girl, you're just having sex with him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the situation. I have my last one. This is a personal one. And maybe somebody watching this is like, that's me.
And we send love to you.
I could never be with a picky eater. And that's because I'm a garbage disposal and I love to eat food and I love to try new foods.
Yeah.
And so this isn't even general advice. I just wanted to put it into the world that I will eat anything that is put in front of me, almost, with very few exceptions.
Yeah.
And that's just a fun fact about me. I love food.
Here's my thing. I've actually dated a lot of picky eaters.
I don't know how.
I think that when it has worked is if they're still willing to go with you so you can enjoy the food that you like to enjoy.
I guess you're right. If it was like a picky eater who was like, we could still go out and I'll find something.
I think the hard thing is that it feels like a lot of times picky eaters don't even want to be around it.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets harder, because if you're somebody who loves food, which both Lauren and I really love trying new foods, and it's like one of the things that brings us together.
Yeah.
If there's somebody who like doesn't match that, that's hard.
Maybe I think picky eaters date picky eaters, but then they'll have kids who are picky eaters, and then the cycle continues. If you have a child, expose them to foods early.
Try.
I think that's where a lot. And if you're somebody's gonna be in the comments like, I have sensory issues, then I'm not talking about you.
Yes.
I'm talking about like white boy who eats butter noodles at 24 years old. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting though, because I think where you grow up really influences what foods you're exposed to, because I feel like being in California, I was exposed to so many foods.
I wasn't exposed to many foods. I grew up in Tennessee. I didn't try Indian food until college because it just wasn't around, but God, do I love it now.
But I think your parents also, like, I feel like your dad's not picky. Like, I feel like
Sarah's not picky.
Yeah.
My stepmom, I grew up with the rule of like, you have to try everything at least once. And I think that changed my life.
I think that's good. I think it's good to be open to trying new things.
Yeah, try everything. She would be like, when I was trying something new, she'd be like, you don't have to eat the whole thing if you don't want it, but you have to try it.
And maybe the picky eater thing is somebody who has a fear of trying new things. I think that's hard.
That is hard.
I think that's hard. And maybe the picky eaters who are still open to trying new things, like even outside of food, are cool and
they're the
fine,
exceptions.
Maybe, but I feel like, could it be a sign of more? Like, could it be a sign of other things that they're not willing to do with you? Yeah, I think something that's important is, for both of us, we're very down, like, for whatever.
Yeah.
And to, like, at least try doing something if we've never done it.
Yeah. We're down to clown.
Yeah. I think in this day and age, I'm talking to the ladies, there's nothing that you have to do anymore. Yeah. You don't have to be married to have a family. You don't have to like be with a man, even if you're like attracted to men only. You don't have to be with a man to live your life. And I don't think we should be living our lives like there's a path that we have to take.
Yeah.
And I don't think we should be, like, as we said at the beginning, settling because you don't have to anymore. You can open your own bank account. You can support yourself. So I don't think you should be living as if there's a certain path that you have to take.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point.
And I feel like a lot of our parents live that way, and the world is changing.
Yeah, I feel like now more than ever, you can really carve your own path in life.
And I think so many people wouldn't have gotten married and had kids if they were born.
I feel like
when we were born.
So many older people hate their kids, and it's like, girl, you never wanted kids.
Yeah, and it's like, and I understand, and no hate on that situation either, because it was a different time, but we don't have to do that.
No.
Obviously, like in some places, there's a lot of pressure still to like get married and stuff like that. But
if you're watching,
if you don't want to,
places, know that you don't have to.
You don't have to. You can go somewhere else. I don't know. I just like look at the world, and I think, what a luxury that I get to spend time with somebody that I love spending time with and create the life that I want to create, that I wouldn't have been able to if it was another time. And maybe I would have been able to, but it would have been really hard. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what your non-negotiables are. I want to hear it.
Yes, and for all the picky eaters watching, I'm sorry.
We love you.
I love you. And are you subscribed? Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell, like, comment, and
ding, ding, ding.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Okay. Bye, bugs.
Bye, bug.
Bye, bugs. Oh, the picky eaters are gonna freak out, and
they're gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me.